For the first time since World War II, the younger generation, today's millennials, may not be as well off as their parents. In fact, 1 out of every 3 Americans between 18 and 31 are now living with their parents. So tonight we're asking why? And what can you and your kids do to fight this trend?
Mom, can I cut this just like this?
Sarah lives with her parents, and for now that's great. But a lot of millennials worry about ever moving out on their own.
I have a friend who just moved back from LA. She, even in such a big city like that, she couldn't find work. She's moving back in with her parents.
And why? Well, for most of the last decade, America's economy has barely grown.
What am I buying this stock for?
507.
Oh, sure, Wall Street's been pumped up by the Fed's cheap money, but a ton of manufacturing jobs that families used to count on for a lifetime, even generations of full-time employment, are now fleeing overseas to low-tax and low-wage countries.
Yeah, that was expensive. I remember that.
And it's getting tougher to open your own small business, like this barber shop started by Sarah's grandpa and expanded by her dad.
Well, the time that I started, it was, of course, different than it is now with the economy.
We've been able to stand on our own 2 feet. And hopefully, you'll see some younger people doing that. Nobody's going to carve that way for you. And that's what entrepreneurship is about.
But are you better off not being so well off? The Washington Post claims millennials don't crave the material possessions of their parents and grandparents, the new cars and big houses and luxury vacations. Keep in mind, though, being counterculture is nothing new.
But a job, though, taking a job for a chick.
In the 50s, we had beatniks. In the 60s, we had hippies. The difference was back then, when protest leaders like Jerry Rubin finally decided to ditch radicalism, they could put on a suit, like Jerry did, and join a booming economy. Today, even the least materialistic young people still spend money. They just spend it on high-tech devices that provide an escape from hard times.
We're less personally connected due to everyone always being online.
So instead of becoming a junior executive, joining a local civic group, becoming part of some faith community, and just kicking back with your family for a couple of hours of TV, many millennials are putting off marriage and children and spending their time online, often drained of ambition. But Sarah is loaded with ambition. She resisted pressure from her family to go to college just to get a degree and saddled with debt. And instead, she saw technical training and then an entry-level job at this salon.
Sarah came here, had mentioned she wanted to open up her own salon someday, and I'm going to help her do that.
After seeing my father and my grandfather run their business and their passion for their trade, I wanted to have that in my life.
Oh my gosh.
Sarah's going to be just fine, and you can be too. For more background on the challenges millennials face and how so many of them are not giving up on their future, go to fox45now.com and click on Millennials under Top Stories.